Welcome back to Gaga's Fiction, where two incredible worlds collide in Naruto's Maid Dragon Part 1. Join us on an epic journey as Naruto and Miss Kobayashi's dragon Maid meet in an unforgettable crossover adventure. Let's dive in. Naruto Uzumaki, a 19-year-old adult, was going through a tough time. Last week, his dream of becoming the Hokage died when he learned that the council and Kakashi had decided to make Sasuke the new Hokage of the village after Kakashi's term. What's more, the woman he had loved since childhood was now in a relationship with the future Hokage, all because of something that happened a while ago, involving his unintentional promotion to the head of all branches a year ago while being in the Anbu. Who would have thought that his decision to join the Anbu to earn more money would end up destroying his dream? But far from being sad and wanting to end his life, the blonde we all knew was. "Hey, old man, pass me another jug, will ya?" The blonde shouted in a now small ramen restaurant. Chuchi, the owner, had run out of liquor to give the young man, so he took the last bottle and, with some pity for the boy he had seen grow up, told him to leave. "Naruto, you can't keep doing this. Go home, have a glass of water before going to bed." The blonde took the sake bottle from the old man's hands and let out a loud groan. "Eh? The night? Hick, the night is still young, old man." Chuchi sighed again and, without giving him more chances to complain, closed the restaurant bar. "At least he gave me the last bottle." Naruto now walked in his orange jumpsuit toward home, or so he thought. Darn it. I got lost. The alcohol in his system made him wander through the village like a zombie, while many of his friends watched him pass by and only lamented the state of their friend and hero. Yet, none of them decided to help, leaving a confused and dizzy Naruto to stumble into the depths of the great forest of death. Once inside the forest, Naruto didn't know which way to go, so he took his bottle and knelt in front of a large fallen tree, which had black wings and a snout. Wait, this isn't even a tree. Did one of those snake bastards forget their pet? Naruto, being drunk, didn't realize that what he had in front of him was not one of the snakes from the Snake Clan but, instead. But what a vulgar human. Can't you see I'm a mighty dragon? The dragon roared in front of Naruto, making his breath ruffle the blonde's hair a bit. So, a dragon, huh? Well, have a drink with me. The dragon was processing what was happening. A seemingly drunk human was asking to drink with him? What insolence are you speaking, stupid human? A being like me drinking with a creature like you? Naruto frowned a bit and got up to reprimand the dragon for what he said, but when he took a closer look at the giant reptile, he noticed. "I see, so you're injured?" The giant dragon had a large sword embedded in its back, causing a pool of blood that Naruto couldn't see due to the alcohol. "Yes, I was attacked by none other than the gods of this world, but it's not something a human like you would understand." Naruto put on a mischievous smile and pointed to the dragon's back. "All right, let's do this. If I remove whatever you have on your stupid back, you'll drink with me, okay?" The dragon smiled and opened his mouth to respond. "Very well, if a mere human can remove this from my back, then." The dragon couldn't finish speaking because, after Naruto put his sake bottle on the ground, his body began to grow, and orange hair sprouted all around him, transforming him into a giant fox with 9 tails on his back, 3 times larger than the dragon in front of him. Naruto, now in his ultimate Kyuubi form, extended his front paw and casually flicked the sword off the dragon's back, sending it flying into space. Afterward, Naruto returned to his original form and picked up the sake bottle. "All right, now I suppose you have a human form too, right? Sit down and join me for this bottle, will you?" The dragon, still recovering from the shock, composed himself. After removing his poker face, he transformed into a beautiful lady with horns on her head and a large reptilian tail on her back. It seemed her wings had transformed into a small garment covering the important areas of her body. "I see, you're a woman. In that case, I'll share my sake with a beautiful dragon lady I've just met." The dragon lady, still slightly drunk, sat silently in front of the man who unintentionally saved her life and watched as he took out 2 small cups for drinking from his jacket. "Now drink already. What are you waiting for?" The dragon lady, still silent, picked up the small cup in front of her and sipped from it. 2 hours later. "Ha ha ha, so you come from another world where there are more dragons than I've ever heard of in my life. Hee hee, we dragons are. Hick. Naturally very strong beings, and those idiotic gods were trying to kill us, so I challenged them to a battle. A battle you lost, and you had to flee to my world, right? Ha ha, yes." Both blondes shared a brief silence until the dragon lady let out a burp, which accidentally came with a small burst of flame. After that, they both burst into laughter while patting each other's shoulders. Wait, in that case, you have no home to return to, do you? The dragon lady nodded, still recovering from her laughter, and looked into the blue eyes of the blonde. Very well, in that case, live with me. What? She asked, puzzled. My house is small, but I can accommodate one more person. I know. That Sasuke guy, now that he's Hokage, will have many cute servants with him. I wish I had at least one servant, so you'll be my servant, got it? The dragon lady, still slightly intoxicated, looked at the blonde's smile and nodded without saying anything. The next day. So that's why I have a dragon maid in my house. I see. But why do you have to be in your dragon form? It attracts a bit of attention out there, you know? And what had happened that morning was a giant dragon with its head stuck inside Naruto Uzumaki's apartment, the head of the Anbu. On that day, Naruto had prepared for work just like any other day. He groomed himself, changed into his work attire, and gathered his things for the office. However, as he stepped out of the door, the first thing he saw was a dragoness looking him in the face. A few minutes later, Naruto returned to his apartment, but this time, he had a young woman following him. The blonde and well-built girl was dressed in a maid or servant uniform that she had borrowed on her way to Naruto's house. All right, your first job as a maid will be to clean while I'm not at home, Naruto said as he was about to leave for work. Wait, just like that? The blonde asked. Naruto responded, what? Oh yeah, I mean, I know I sometimes say foolish things when I'm drunk, but if I made a promise to a dragon while I was drunk, then I'll have to keep it. That, and this headache is clouding my judgment, so I guess you're lucky today, whoever you are. The woman pouted and crossed her arms, saying, my name is Toru, Tohru, Naruto-san. You better remember it if we're going to live together. Naruto turned around with a slight smile and said, in that case, it's a pleasure to have you with me, Toru. As Naruto left the apartment, Toru turned to see what she had to clean, but she wasn't prepared for what she found. Trash. Yes, the whole house was a mess, with trash strewn all over the floor. Since Naruto rarely spent time at home, he often had lunch and just left the leftovers on the floor, so it was common to find ramen on the walls, ceiling, and floor of the house. Toru slapped her cheeks with both hands and smiled. Naruto-san put his trust in me to clean his house, so I can't let him down, even if he were to find a speck of dust in some corner of the house. At work, Naruto was dealing with the usual challenges. He arrived at the Hokage building and saw Kakashi looking downcast, Shizune and Shikamaru with pity in their eyes, and Sasuke, who had just taken on the role of Hokage due to his wife Sakura's pregnancy. They all looked at him with sympathy, something Naruto had never asked for and never wanted, even though he was annoyed that Sasuke had not declined the Hokage position, knowing it was Naruto's dream. He also knew that the village council had likely manipulated Sasuke, perhaps by threatening his wife and future daughter's lives if he didn't become Hokage. That's why Naruto harbored resentment toward no one except the old members of the council who had forced him to become the head of the Anbu, or else they wouldn't pay off the debt incurred by Tsunade. Yes, Naruto had learned that Tsunade had used his parents' fortune to rebuild the village, and that's why he now had to pay Tsunade's debts and make a living. That's where the job of Anbu leader came in handy, so he accepted it without protest. But it wasn't all pity and resentment for Naruto, he also had his moments of happiness. Hey, Sai. How's it going for the new father of the Leaf Village? Naruto greeted Sai, a former teammate who didn't look at him with pity, unlike most of the village. Sai, who had a deeper understanding of Naruto than even Sakura and Sasuke, his other two comrades, responded. Hey, Naruto, Ino and I have been having some trouble with little Inojin these past few days, the pale man said. Hee hee, old man, I never thought you'd beat me to it in that department. I feel so jealous. You have a beautiful wife and now a son too, Naruto replied. But what about Hinata? Weren't you two dating? Sai asked. Naruto tensed up for a moment, then smiled nervously. Well, the truth is, we broke up several months ago. Things with her and her clan weren't working out. Why's that? Sai inquired. The rumor that Sasuke would become Hokage reached the clan heads first. When his father found out he wouldn't be Hokage and that my immense fortune had been spent on the village, he arranged a marriage with the Inuzuka clan for Hinata. Sai seemed surprised by the news. Wow, but why didn't Hinata do anything? According to Kakashi's law, if one of the parties doesn't want to marry, they can refuse. What happened was that Hinata didn't want to disappoint her father and the older clan members. Plus, without me as Hokage, the caged bird seal law for the second branch members would still exist. So, She decided to marry Kiba to prevent her sister from taking her heiress title and earning the caged bird symbol. Sai understood and placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. You know, I can't really feel sorry for you, my friend, but according to my books, this should affect you in some way. You should find a way to deal with it before it harms you. I know, Sai, but for now, all I can do is work to have a good life. So, Naruto spent that day at work, accepting and rejecting Anbu missions and sending Anbu agents to the Hokage for personal missions. When he returned home that night, he didn't expect. Oh, I forgot I hired a dragon maid. Well, let's see what she's done with my house. I wouldn't be surprised if it's completely destroyed. Welcome, Naruto-san. Naruto stood at the door and inadvertently shed a tear upon hearing those words. I'm back, Toru. It seems you've been busy, eh? Upon entering the house, Naruto didn't see any of his previous belongings, not even the photos and the television he had bought last week. Toru, where are my things? They're not here. Naruto turned to see Toru, who appeared serious, but her large tail was swaying from side to side. You're clearly happy, so I know you think you've done a good job. But, in reality, I want to kill. Well, if you want your things back, I can bring them. What? Something appeared in Toru's hands, and all the apartment's belongings began to appear out of nowhere. Okay, now sit down, Toru. I'd better explain what it means to be a maid before I regret kicking you out. Upon hearing that Naruto might kick her out, Toru sat on the floor in front of Naruto. Alright, your duties as a maid are cleaning properly. Okay, I have to clean like a human. Yes, exactly. Now, the second thing you need to learn is how to greet someone when they knock on the door. Got it. Just then, someone knocked on Naruto's door. Toru approached and opened the door to find a person with a kitten in their arms. It was a child with a headband looking for Naruto. Hello, miss, is my brother Naruto here? Naruto doesn't need the presence of a simple and insignificant human at his door. Go away. Toru slammed the door in the child's face, but when it locked, Naruto's fist collided with Toru's head. Naruto opened the door and found the same child with the cat still in their arms, wearing a poker face. Well, brother, I didn't know you liked the weird ones. I don't have time for your jokes, Konohamaru. What do you want? Konohamaru handed the cat to his brother and then ran off into the distance. If I'm late getting home, Mom will kill me. Please take the cat to the Hokage. Naruto had a vein popping on his forehead, so he created a clone and had it take the cat to the office. Alright, Toru, the third thing you need to know as a maid is how to do laundry. Toru got up from the floor and put her hand on her forehead, nodding at what Naruto said. I can wash clothes with my saliva since it can remove even the toughest stains. I see. Does your saliva have a strong smell? Well, I can alter its smell if you'd like. Let's make it smell like flowers from now on. Toru seemed excited, while Naruto was still processing the fact that Toru would be using her saliva even on his underwear. Alright, Toru, the last thing you should know as a maid is that I'm not a disgusting, perverted boss, so you can relax around me. What do you mean? What do you mean by what do you mean? Well, besides being raised to repay favors, even to miserable humans, I like you, Naruto-san. You mean you like me as a person, right? No, I mean sexually. Naruto was taken aback by what Toru said, and she smiled as she wagged her tail. Upon hearing Toru's words, Naruto couldn't help but remember the moment he saw Hinata and Kiba together at the restaurant where they used to eat, including Ichiraku's. Toru, I appreciate your feelings for me, but right now, my job doesn't allow me to have romantic relationships with anyone. Toru looked a bit dejected, but then she remembered something. Well, in that case, I can wait for Naruto-san since we dragons have a pretty long lifespan. Naruto gave a slight smile and patted Toru's head. In that case, do as you please. I'm going to sleep. Naruto removed his hand from Toru's head and went into his room. Toru, on the other hand, had a bright red face and smoke coming out of her ears. Oh, Naruto-san, I don't have a bed. Naruto stopped at his door and sighed before speaking. My workdays usually exhaust me, so I enjoy my sleeping hours in my bed. So, until we get one for you, you'll sleep with me. Now Toru couldn't help but imagine countless situations with Naruto, even planning several where she immobilized him and... Ah, yes, Toru. If you try anything while I'm asleep. Several foxtails emerged from the room and started to sway threateningly, while a pair of eyes in the darkness stared at her intensely. "If you try anything, I'll kill you." And that ended Toru's hope of a perfect night. Although there was still the option of hugging him while he slept, or not. Modifying her scales to create pajamas as she had seen in Naruto's discarded magazines, Toru created some pajamas and went to Naruto's room to sleep beside him. "Good night," said Naruto as he turned off the lights. Toru didn't respond right away. Instead, she waited for Naruto to get into bed and then hugged him from behind. "Good night," the dragon girl replied with a noticeable smile on her face. A few hours passed, and Naruto felt something on his body, something burning, hurting, and seemingly squeezing him. It was Toru, apparently sweating and squeezing Naruto's body tightly, her dragon claws digging into his abdomen. Naruto turned around as best as he could and, despite the pain, whispered in Toru's left ear, "It's going to be okay, there's nothing to worry about. It's over." Meanwhile, in Toru's dream, she was being attacked by hordes of warriors and knights, all seeking to harm her. This was happening while a man with a white beard led them, holding a lightning bolt that transformed into a sword and was sent hurtling towards Toru. But it all changed when she saw that man's face in her dream, the face of the man who had saved her life and to whom she owed anything he wanted. That man reassured her, saying that it was all over. Naruto could now feel Toru's grip on him easing, and she started to smile happily, just as she did with him. He turned back to sleep. "Good night, Toru." What Naruto didn't know was that he had only 5 minutes left to sleep before going back to work, as it was 6:55 in the morning. It's been 3 weeks since Naruto started living with Toru, and within these days, Naruto never noticed something until this exact moment. "Hey Toru, lately I've noticed something is missing." Toru, who was washing dishes next to Naruto, froze, and a cold sweat started to trickle down her back. "Oh, really? So, have you seen that I've been looking more beautiful lately, Naruto-san?" "Honestly, you look the same as always, but you're right, something about you has changed, I just can't quite put my finger on it." Now, Toru was sweating even more than before, and Naruto noticed that there was something different about her demeanor. "Oh, it's your tail." Toru was now sweating profusely, and her maid outfit began to get damp from her nervousness. "Oh, don't worry, Naruto-san, it's like plucking a hair," she exclaimed to emphasize her point. "I see. But will it grow back? I actually liked how it moved when you were happy or nervous." As Naruto said this, Toru's tail began to grow back, and she had a serious expression, but her new tail was swaying uncontrollably. "Well, it seems I don't need to worry about that. But I think what I should be concerned about is buying food." "Oh, Naruto-san, I can go with you," said the dragon while thumping her chest, which bounced. I think we also need to buy you some clothes. I don't know much about that, so we'll stop by a friend's house after getting the ingredients, but we should also get some sweets for the house." While Naruto thought about what they needed for the house, Toru just kept saying something. "Going out with Naruto-san. Wait, that's... Going out is the same as a date, so I'm going to have a date with Naruto-san. Date, 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 date." The dragoness couldn't stop saying date as if it were a spell or a curse. "Alright, I've got everything we need on this scroll," Naruto said as he held an 8-foot-long scroll and rolled it up. Naruto noticed that Toru couldn't stop mumbling something, so he took her hand and led her to the village market. On the way, Toru came back to reality and saw that Naruto was holding her hand as he guided her to a place she visited often. But aside from the place, he's holding my hand. In Toru's mind, this was an event she'd never forget, so she decided to etch it into her memory, glaring at Naruto's hand in an almost menacing way. "What's with that look? You know that's my prosthetic hand, right?" Those words shattered Toru's dream. "Darn it. I swear, one day I'll take your other hand." "Well, you'll have to try hard if you want to take my other hand, Toru-chan." Unintentionally, Naruto had added Chan after Toru's name, which made the dragoness. Toru couldn't hold it in any longer, and accidentally unleashed a magical burst that drew the word Chan in large letters with hearts on the sides in the sky. Naturally, many people saw this, and among the astonished faces, there were 2 individuals who likely recognized the people involved. These 2 were a young girl walking in the crowd of the village and a pink-haired woman sitting on her terrace, observing the aftermath of the magical display. Both of them simultaneously said, "Naruto and Toru-sama." Back with Toru and Naruto, some time had passed since that beautiful moment for the dragoness. Now, they were at the market, and Toru was buying the ingredients from Naruto's list. Naruto remembered how the villagers treated him and how he had limited interactions because of it, but he observed how Toru socialized with everyone and couldn't help but feel a bit jealous. That is until. Hey, Toru, we've bought all the ingredients, but why is beef still on the list? I remember the butcher was further back. At this moment, Toru was more frozen than Madara Uchiha after being rejected by Hashirama in a battle. Meanwhile, the wires in Naruto's brain connected. Hey, Toru, the meat I've been eating until now. Wasn't your tail, was it? Toru turned and nervously smiled at Naruto. Naruto had a kind and calm smile on his face. But behind him, it seemed like a giant fox spirit was clapping his hands together, while his 9 tails swayed in the wind. If I tell you it was. Promise not to get mad at me? Of course, I'm going to be mad at you, and don't worry, you don't need to confirm it again after confessing. Now Toru's scales were bristling. But before Naruto could give Toru the punishment she believed was coming, everything was interrupted by. Help! A thief just robbed my shop. A merchant shouted as a masked man dashed out of her store. 9 tails emerged from Naruto's back, transforming into a giant hand to catch the thief. But before it could stretch out. Naruto-san, I've got this, said Toru, quickly creating a rift in the ground where she stood, and in the blink of an eye, she appeared behind the thief, delivering a blow to his back that left him unconscious. The hand behind Naruto returned to his body, and before he could run off so that Toru wouldn't be reprimanded by the villagers. Wow, Toru, you're really fast, said a villager. Well done, Toru, said a woman who approached to congratulate the dragoness. And so, everyone who had grown fond of Toru began congratulating her. Naruto, with a smile on his face, approached Toru and took her hand to leave. Sorry, but Toru and I have other matters to attend to. I've already sent a few Onbu to handle the situation, so I bid you farewell, Naruto said to the villagers while holding Toru's hand. Toru, instead of reacting dramatically, simply lowered her head with a smile and a clear blush on her face. All right, Toru, let's go to my friend's place to get you some clothes, Naruto said. They left the village market while being observed by a young girl with horns and a slender tail. A few minutes later, they arrived at a place Toru occasionally visited. Oh, this is the Yamanaka flower shop. Toru entered the shop without letting go of Naruto's hand, which didn't seem to bother him but concerned the person inside. Welcome to the Yamanaka flower shop. A beautiful blonde inside the store greeted them. Ah, it's Toru-chan with Naruto. Naruto said to his blonde friend and the wife of one of his best friends. Hi, Ino, the blonde greeted his friend. Wow, Naruto, I didn't know you were up to your old tricks, Ino remarked. What? Oh no, we just came to ask you a favor, Naruto told his friend. Oh, and what favor does the beautiful Ino Yamanaka need to grant? Ino asked with a smirk. We need clothes for Toru, Naruto explained. Wait, Toru has been shopping at my store for the past 2 weeks. Are you saying all she has to wear is that maid outfit? Ino inquired. Well, it's a bit complicated, Naruto replied. Oh no, in reality, I don't even need these scales. The dragon girl said, raising her arm. Exactly, scales? Naruto asked, puzzled. Yeah, I can transform them into any clothing I want, so she doesn't need to buy clothes, the dragon girl explained. So, we came here for nothing? Naruto said, a bit frustrated. Well, if I had told you, you'd probably reject a date with me, Toru stuttered. Aw. Naruto, where did you find such an adorable maid? Ino asked. She found me in the mountains and pulled a sacred sword from my back while I was drunk, the dragon girl replied. Yeah, now that I think about it, it does sound a bit like Naruto, Ino said with a poker face as she imagined their encounter. But there's something I don't understand. What do you mean by scales? Naruto inquired. See, Ino, Toru is a dragon, a voice behind a door in the shop explained. Hello, Sai-san. Toru greeted the pale man she had met when visiting Naruto at his workplace. So, you already knew, dear? Ino asked her husband, who nodded in agreement. Well, I have clothes you can try on and copy if you need to, Toru-chan, Ino said, pointing to the door through which Sai had entered. Thank you, Ino. All right, Toru, you can go with Ino, and she'll show you her clothes, Naruto told Toru, who looked at him with a smile. Before you go in, Toru, tell me your measurements. I think you might even be bigger than me, Ino said, holding her chest. I'm a D for dragon. Toru replied. I told you not to learn nonsense from television, Naruto responded. Oh, but it was a D for dragon or D for destruction, according to Fafnir-san, Toru explained. Fafnir? Ino asked. Fafnir is Toru's friend. They talk most of the time through my phone, even though I don't have his contact number saved, Naruto clarified. I see, Ino replied. Well, come in, Toru-chan, before the little demon wakes up for his dinner, Ino urged. A few hours later, both of them had finished their activities for the day. At home, Toru wanted to ask something. Naruto-san, why did you give me your real hand even though you said I should earn it? Why? I guess the fact that you stopped a robbery and fed me with that fluffy and delicious meat wasn't enough of an achievement, Naruto replied. But I thought you would punish me for giving you a piece of my tail to eat, Toru said with a surprised expression. Don't worry about that, Toru. It did bother me that you didn't tell me, but your meat is quite delicious. Just remember, no more dragon tail from now on, clear? Toru nodded at what Naruto said, but before she could give him a hug, they heard someone knocking on the door, interrupting her chance to embrace Naruto. Don't worry, Toru. You can practice Ino's combinations in front of the mirror we bought for the small room while I see who's at the door, Naruto said as he got up from where he was sitting on the floor. However, what he didn't expect was. Finish with Toru-sama. You. Netorare. A gothic lolly at the door said while hugging Naruto's leg. What? Naruto exclaimed. Naruto was still processing the fact that a little girl, around 7 or 8 years old, was hugging his leg. Who's looking for you, Naruto-san? Toru asked while approaching the door and noticing what seemed like a woman's arms holding onto Naruto-san's leg. Are you being unfaithful to me, Naruto? Naruto replied, what are you talking about? She's just a little girl. Do you think she could harm me? Naruto sighed and looked down to see the little girl holding onto his leg even tighter. Well, regardless, I don't think a little girl should be out at this late hour. So, you'll come inside and tell me who you are and what you want with Toru, little dragon girl. The little girl clung even tighter to his right leg, prompting Naruto to walk with her still attached. Naruto walked with the little girl on his leg, but as he passed by Toru, he raised his leg and pointed at Toru with his foot. Here, take your friend, he said. Toru grabbed the girl's shirt, and she let go of Naruto to hang on to Toru. Now, let's sit her down so we can talk to her and find out why she's here, Naruto said. He walked over and sat on the floor, where he usually watched TV with Toru. The girl in front of him stared at him with her deep blue eyes as if trying to burn a hole in his head. All right, Toru, tell me who this girl is. Well, this is Kana Kamui. She's an old acquaintance of mine, and it seems she came here to find me. I'm surprised she managed to locate me. I noticed your location when you used your mana burst to write in the sky, the little dragon said with a serious expression on her face. You really attract a lot of attention, Toru, the blonde guy commented as he received a nod from the girl sitting in front of him. So, what are you doing here? The girl replied, I want to go back to our world with Lady Toru, so you need to let go of her if you don't want me to kill you. I see. Toru, what do you have to say about this? Toru responded, my answer is no. You see, Kana, I am deeply in love with Naruto-san and I have vowed to be his servant for life. Naruto tensed up a bit, but the little girl crossed her arms and then pointed at Naruto in an accusingly cute manner. You seduced Lady Toru with your well-defined and mesomorphic body, didn't you? As she said that, a few drops of blood came out of Toru's nose, while she had a silly smile on her face, replaying the scene of seeing Naruto bathing in her head. Hey, calm down, little girl. I'm not sure if I seduced your perverted friend, but she decided to stay on her own, so you can go back to your house. As Naruto said this, he realized the girl's feelings. One of his abilities, thanks to the Kyuubi, was the detection of emotions, so when he saw the sadness within the girl, he couldn't help but see himself beside her. You don't have a place to go back to, do you? The blonde said, his expression softening a bit. I see now, so you found out that Toru survived and decided to come back to her, hoping for forgiveness for whatever you did. How did you know that? Kid, I've been a naughty brat in my childhood too. I don't need my abilities to sense people's feelings when it's clear you got kicked out for a prank. The blonde guy said with a smile. Kana turned her head and looked at the blue-eyed blonde. You're a boring and ugly guy. The little girl said, staring into the blonde's eyes. Ha ha. Well, I've been called ugly before, but boring, never. I guess I'm getting old. However, Toru responded to Naruto. Don't listen to her, Naruto-san isn't boring. He just doesn't have much fun. Hey, that's the same as being boring. But you know what, it doesn't matter. The blonde stood up from the floor and squatted instead. Kana-chan, how about you live with me and Toru from now on? Kana's eyes lit up at the blonde's words, but she quickly shook her head and said. Why should I trust a human? The little dragon said. Hey, I don't know how many times I've said this in my life, but Kana. I used to be like you. Meanwhile, inside Naruto, a nine-tailed fox seemed to be laughing at what his Jinchuriki said. I know what it's like to be rejected and avoided, Kana. That's why you can trust me because I won't harm you. I couldn't forgive myself if I hurt you. Saying that, Kana lunged and hugged the blonde, wrapping her arms around his neck and burying her small head in his neck. But Naruto had trouble with the girl's horn pressing dangerously against his cheek, and to make matters worse, a blonde dragon was having bouts of jealousy. I'm human, Kana-chan, I don't have the power a dragon has, but I have another power that can match that. So, you shouldn't worry about trust. Otherwise, I would have already eaten more than just Toru's tail. Toru froze. What did he mean by eaten? And Naruto-san? What did you mean by eaten? I don't know, what do you think? Toru couldn't take it anymore and ran to the window to release another magical bolt that looked like fireworks in the dark night of the village. Alright, from now on, we'll live together. 5 days later, Naruto was getting up from his bed as usual. He turned off the alarm clock next to his bed, but in doing so, he hit Toru's sleeping face with his elbow, only to get up instantly and pull Kana, who was sleeping on his chest, out of bed. I need a bigger house. The blonde said as he watched little Kana and Toru getting up. Naruto got out of his bed and walked to see that his house was too small for the three of them to live together. So, he created a clone to replace him at work while he did something he hadn't done in a long time. It's better to buy one right away if I want to move today. The dragons left the room, now clean and changed, and saw that Naruto had already made breakfast. Naruto-san, you're not going to work today? Toru asked as she approached the table. Kana wants to play ninjas. The little one said. Today, I have a better idea for you. How about we take a walk around the village? Toru and Kana's eyes lit up at what the blonde said. Toru imagined another date with Naruto, while Kana thought about learning more about this world. Great. They both said at the same time. But, where are we going, Naruto-san? Toru asked. We're going to my parents' house. Kana and Toru were surprised. In the last month with Naruto, Toru never heard him talk about his family, so the idea of meeting his parents excited her. While Kana thought that Naruto's parents were giant foxes, thanks to Toru's story of how they met. Kana finished eating her fried eggs and stuffed the bread in her mouth, then ran cutely to the door and opened it with extreme tenderness. Come on, what are we waiting for? Kana said with bread in her mouth. Naruto smiled. From being completely alone, he now had a dragon maid who, despite her threats, tried to take advantage of his nights of relaxation, and he also had a little girl whom he was starting to see as his daughter. Alright, but brush your teeth before we go, understand? Yes. Now they were heard in the bathroom of the house. One thing he was sure of was that these mischievous dragons made him happy. Toru and Kana were walking in front of Naruto, who was watching them with a warm smile. During their morning walk, Naruto bought ice creams for both the dragons. They also passed by the Shinobi Academy, where Naruto occasionally received payment for teaching, even though it was only his clones teaching. They also went to cancel his contract as an academy teacher since the council had told him to focus on his Onbu leader duties and not waste time teaching inexperienced kids. The older generation only seemed to care about the future shinobi heirs, which frustrated Naruto. Many orphaned children and untrained civilians ended up lost in battles. It was the harsh reality they had to face, something Naruto had known since he was a child. Hey, Naruto-san. Look, there's a cute outfit, Kana said to the distracted Naruto, who turned to see what Kana was pointing at and saw something he might have preferred not to see. His ex-fiancée, Hinata, was shopping for baby clothes with her teammate Sakura. Naruto continued on his way, but his attempt to escape was thwarted by Kana, who tugged at his orange hoodie and gave him puppy dog eyes. Well, I guess we can go inside to see, Kana-chan, Naruto reluctantly agreed. Kana's eyes lit up because there were fox-themed infant costumes in the store, though they were usually less popular due to their high price as they were made from real fox fur. Kana, you don't have to spend so much money on this costume. You can use your scales to create one if you want, Naruto suggested. But I want this little outfit, Kana pouted, a look that Toru and Naruto couldn't resist. Fine, I'll buy you the costume as a gift for the new house, okay? Naruto conceded. Hey. That's not fair, Naruto-san. Why does Kana-chan get something, and I don't? Toru protested. But her loud complaint only drew the attention of others, including a certain someone. Oh, Naruto, what are you doing here? Said a pregnant pink-haired woman as she approached her lifelong friend. I'm buying some things, and I'm planning to move today or tomorrow, Naruto replied to his friend. I see. And who is this lovely little one? The pink-haired woman asked, looking at Kana, who was holding on to Naruto's orange hoodie. This is Kana, my adopted daughter, Naruto told Sakura, who seemed surprised. Oh, I didn't know Hinata and you had decided to adopt a child, especially with a baby on the way, Sakura said. Naruto was taken aback by this news, both by the surprise of Hinata's pregnancy and the fact that she hadn't informed anyone, despite telling him a few months ago that she would handle the announcement. But what hit Naruto the hardest was the third surprise. A claw dug into Naruto's shoulder, causing him to break into a cold sweat. He turned to see Toru with a murderous look in her eyes. The blonde man made the dragoness remove her claws from his shoulder. All right, this is my servant Toru. I'm sorry for not introducing her earlier. And, as I mentioned, this little one is Kana, whom I adopted since Hinata and I parted ways a few months ago. I'm afraid I'm not the father of that baby, Sakura-chan, Naruto explained, soothing Toru in the process and making Hinata nervous. Sakura was also confused, so she turned to Hinata, who had a pale expression. What happened was, I already told others about our breakup. But since Sakura arrived in the village a month ago, I guess no one informed her, and she thought we were still together, Naruto-kun, Hinata explained, clenching her fist, assuming the situation. Naruto, look, I want that over there. Kana pointed to what appeared to be a princess tiara on a shelf. Toru, could you get what Kana wants? I'll go to the checkout to pay for the costume and other things, Naruto asked Toru, who nodded in response. Well, it was nice to see you both, but I'm in a bit of a hurry to see the new house, Naruto said as he approached the cash register with Kana on his shoulders, adjusting the costume on his head. What was that, Hinata? Sakura asked her companion. It seems Naruto-kun is happier, Hinata replied, looking at the pink-haired woman. Naruto and the two dragons had already left the store with Kana dressed as a nine-tailed fox hanging down from Naruto's shoulders. Naruto-san, were they your friends? Toru asked as they walked towards the new house. They were friends I've known since childhood. And, as you heard, I had a romantic relationship with one of them for a while, Naruto explained. This revelation made Toru's scales stand on end, but there was one way to confirm it, just one way. From her maid uniform, Toru seemed to pull out a strand of hair. She approached it initially pointing it downward, but as she got closer to Naruto, the hair stood on end as if it wanted to poke someone. What's that? Naruto asked Toru. Oh, it's unicorn hair. Do you have a unicorn, Toru-sama? Kana asked, simultaneously answering Naruto's question. Good. Naruto-san's virginity is mine. Toru shouted to the heavens, causing several women to react to the news that the hero and Anbu leader remained innocent despite being the disciple of a pervert. Meanwhile, Naruto was redder and hotter than a volcano, which made Kana lower her head and press her forehead against Naruto's. When she did that, Kana burned her forehead and lifted her collar to rub her forehead with her little hands. Naruto-san, that's mean. I burned my forehead with yours, Kana pouted. At that moment, Naruto learned two things. Unicorns were perverts who loved virgins, and their skin heated up a lot when they blushed. As the three of them walked, they saw many things that were normal to Naruto but fascinated Toru. Despite going out to buy things and many other activities, Toru was still amazed to see people running on walls and rooftops or disappearing in swirls of leaves or fire. Naruto, what's that? Little Kana pointed to what seemed to be a tall tower at the end of a street. You're not entirely wrong, Toru. That's the Hokage Tower. The Hokage is responsible for protecting the village and its people, even if it means giving their own life. Naruto told the two women, who were looking at him with stars in their eyes. Naruto-san, should we go there and make you the Hokage? Toru suggested to Naruto, who looked down with a bit of hesitation. Toru and Kana noticed this and decided not to ask further. Naruto, I want ice cream, Kana said to Naruto in an attempt to cheer him up. Alright, we'll get some ice cream, Kana. Do you want some too, Toru? Naruto asked, and Toru eagerly nodded in agreement. After buying ice cream, they continued walking and finally arrived at the house of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. The house was surrounded by barrier seals that protected it from theft, attacks, and attempts by the council to sell it. Only a family member could enter the house and deactivate the barriers, so Naruto approached and, by placing his hand on the barrier, it dissipated, revealing the house as if it were new. "Alright, you can come in, girls," Naruto said. At the same time, he lowered Kana from his shoulders and let her stand on the ground, then followed Toru into the house. Inside, Naruto showed the girls the rooms. The first room had walls that resembled a sky full of white clouds. The other two rooms were the guest room and Naruto's parents' room. To clear any doubts, Naruto had already informed Toru and Kana that he was an orphan. This left Toru feeling a bit down, as she had wanted to meet his parents, but Kana simply turned and continued exploring the large house. The house was furnished but lacked some modern appliances, so Naruto would have to plan a move for the following day. Though who needed a moving service when you could create 10,000 clones of yourself? Kana noticed several photos of Naruto's parents on the living room furniture and approached to take a look. She saw pictures of a blonde man, who resembled Naruto, hugging a pregnant red-haired woman. "Toru-sama, come and see this," the dragon said, urging her friend to look at the photos. Toru approached and saw the photos of Naruto's parents. She also noticed pictures where only his father was present with 3 children. Toru recognized one of the children from the photos at Naruto's house. It was the masked man who had his hands on Naruto's and another boy's heads. "Naruto-san, who is he?" Toru asked. "This is Kakashi-sensei. He was my dad's student and later taught me. I also had another teacher who passed away a few years ago," Naruto explained. "I see," the blonde dragon replied. "So, do you like the house?" Naruto asked. Kana nodded and hugged the sofa in the living room. "I want to sleep here," she said while holding onto the couch. "Why don't we get you a bed for the cloud room instead?" Naruto suggested to Kana. Kana considered it, then nodded, leaving the couch behind. "Alright, I think we can go pack things now. Tomorrow, I'll take care of moving everything before I go to work. You just need to come and settle in as you like," Naruto explained. "Naruto-san, is it necessary to leave so early?" "It's only noon," Toru questioned while looking at Naruto. "I was planning to buy something for you while we were out shopping for Kana's room. Plus, the council will force me to enroll her in the academy, so she'll need some shinobi gear," Naruto clarified. Naruto responded to the maid with a smile. Toru blushed a bit at the idea of Naruto buying something for her and impulsively hugged him around the neck. Naruto returned the hug and extended his hand, inviting Kana to join the embrace. "Maybe you both don't realize it, but you're my new family. Even though you're both dragons from another world. Nevertheless, I'm grateful," Naruto thought while hugging the 2 dragonesses. That day, Toru managed to purchase a camera. "I noticed there's only one photo of you at home, so I'll start filling an album with photos of us," Toru mentioned on the way, holding her camera high. Naruto, carrying Kana on his shoulders, smiled, and Kana looked at Toru with a surprised expression. They now possessed a magical item that could capture moments in instant portraits, or at least that's what Toru had told Kana. Unintentionally, the camera seemed to take a picture, as indicated by the light that came from it. "Eh? I don't remember infusing it with magic to use it," Toru said. "Have you been using magic to turn on everything?" Naruto asked with a surprised and amused expression, realizing the abilities of the dragons. "Hey, what do you say we do something fun?" Naruto asked the dragonesses. Kana lowered her head and looked into Naruto's eyes. "What are you planning, Naruto?" she asked. "You'll see," he replied, then began to run with Kana on his shoulders, fists pointed in the air. "Wow, Naruto always has something to do," the blonde dragon remarked, just as a piece of paper fell and was caught in front of her face. She first saw Naruto with Kana upside down, but as she turned the paper, she saw Naruto and Kana again, noticing Naruto's smiling expression in the photo. Toru blushed at his big smile and put the paper in her pocket. "This will be the first photo in the album. No, it will be the first photo on my shrine to things related to Naruto-san," she thought, closing her pocket, then ran to catch up with Naruto and Kana, who were a bit ahead. A few days after completing the move, Naruto was in the office working with Sai. "Man, I don't want to come to work on the day of Sasuke's welcome ceremony," Naruto said to his pale friend. "You've just moved, right? Why don't you throw a party to celebrate it and invite people to make it more convincing?" Sai suggested. That That's an excellent idea, Sai. Naruto exclaimed, grabbing his friend's shoulders. Sure, Shikamaru will say it's too troublesome to skip work for a party, Sai responded. That's true. Came a voice from down the hall, apparently belonging to another one of Naruto's friends. Alright, in that case, bring Ino with you tomorrow night so that none of us have to go to the welcome ceremony, Naruto suggested. The truth was that the welcome ceremony would just be more work for Naruto, serving as a guard and protection for the Hokage in case someone tried some ething. While anyone could handle the task, the council wanted the Anbu leader and his right-hand man at the event. On that day, upon returning home, Naruto saw Kana and Toru's pairs of shoes at the front door. He took off his shoes and placed them alongside theirs. He then ran to the living room, where both dragonesses were. I'm going to throw a party tomorrow, so I want you to invite your friends, Naruto told them. And that's what happened. Toru was on the phone, saying, Ara, in that case, I'll talk to Fafnir and show him this picture to get him to attend your party, Toru-chan. Okay, with you both, we'll be complete. Goodbye, Luko-san. The blonde dragon said as she hung up the phone. At the same time and in the same world, a boy with a blue scarf had just left a shinobi supply store. Hee, Naruto ni hasn't taught me the summoning jutsu yet, so he'll be surprised that I can summon something as cool as a demon with this secret demon summoning kit. Konohamaru, shut up. Normal people are trying to sleep at 2 in the morning. A neighbor shouted, awakened by the boy shouting. Darn it. If my mom hears that Mr. Hakura called my name and doesn't see me at home, I'm in big trouble. The boy said, running to try to reach his room before his mother did. Spoiler alert, he didn't make it. End of the chapter.